Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome to an episode of Found Footage Fridays with my co-hosts Mike and Serial.
Hey, viewers. Hope you're having a great Friday and hope it gets a little bit better listening to us.
I like it. That's our new slogan. I'm here for it. Um, we are back talking found footage on a Friday. We are going to be watching. We already watched it because we're talking about it. It's getting late. um,
You're going to be
um,
watching us talk about.
talk about a movie that is actually streaming, of course, on Found TV. It was featured, I think, in the Unnamed Festival for found footage. Um, And so, yeah, so I'm going to give a quick word to our sponsor for this video, Found TV.
If you are a lover of found footage horror, Found TV is the app for you. From all sorts of mainstream titles to indie projects, they have every subgenre of the subgenre. New releases constantly, as well as world releases that have never been seen before. If you are a fan of found footage and you love horror movies, you should already have this app.
Yeah, so the movie we're going to be talking about today is from the creators of Chest, which has been covered previously. I think Tom and I discussed that one kind of a while ago now. But they're one of their latest, or their latest rather, Jeffrey's Hell. Um, which is not a sequel, I guess. It's more about a documentary about what happened to the creator of Chest after Chest was made. And really, that's probably the only way to sum it up. In 2023, filmmaker Aaron Irons went missing in a cave in the wilderness area known as Jeffrey's Hell. This documentary explores the truth behind what really happened to him. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good summary. I like that one. I'll take it. Yeah, unspoiled thoughts on this one. What did you think?
The last movie that they did was Chess.
Hmm.
Um, I was fine with it. It didn't blow me out of my socks, but
Yeah,
I was indifferent about it.
mhm,
I thought Jeffrey's Hell was stronger, and I
I
do
agree.
enjoy what I realized because, and we mentioned it in another episode already, I do love the mockumentary
Yeah,
style. I like talking heads, I like interviews.
same.
I'm starting to realize that I really do enjoy that.
Yeah,
And as long as you have someone interesting to interview, and I do feel that this one did for me, especially when they started it off. I liked hearing all the different point of views. I liked
yeah,
hearing what everyone had to say. And
hmm,
then when we do start to get to the little bit of like, okay, now we're in a movie, I did enjoy it.
yeah,
This again, I don't think I'm gonna go run to the mountains and tell everyone about it, but I did not hate this movie. I did enjoy it.
yeah. I definitely second that this was a stronger film than Chest. Um, I like a lot of the components. Again, I'm also a really big fan of the mockumentary stuff. I think those elements were handled really well. It was an interesting concept. I feel like we've said that a lot, but it's true. I mean, conceptually, this was cool. Like it was a cool little follow up, especially because it's not a sequel to the film. It's just this is what happened to the filmmaker, which I think is kind of an interesting take. I think there's some clear influence here from some other found footage movies. I'm blanking on, and you may remember because I think this is one that you and I differed on. There was another one about a door.
Hostile Dimensions?
Hostile Dimensions. It felt very Hostile Dimensions meets Horror in the High Desert
Okay.
to me. Um, in some ways, which I was not a super big fan of Hostile Dimensions. I think I'm in the minority. I feel like a lot of people really liked that one, which is fine. I usually am in the minority on these things, but I'm a massive fan of Horror in the High Desert. So some of these elements really did work for me, and I thought it was really good. Um, I think this was one that I thoroughly loved until the last act. The last act for me is really where I got my hopes too high, I think, and I wanted something very specific, and I was not given those things. And then the directions I felt like just didn't make I just wasn't feeling it, I guess, at that point. And so there were some decisions there that I think just kind of shifted my energy about it a little bit. So but yeah, that's kind of my unspoiled thoughts. What would you rate this?
You know what? I am gonna go middle of the road 5 out of 10, but I'm
Okay.
gonna put like a little asterisk there
Mhm.
where take this 5, like depending on who you are as a viewer, and this is
Yeah.
either a strong 5 where it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Because found footage, while we love them and we might
Mhm.
love them, we might there's some that we're like, we know they're not the best, but they touched us.
Yes.
Because you and I have had different opinions on certain types of movies.
I can't believe we've been as close as we have so many episodes in already. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna stay that way, but I'm shocked because we do have very different opinions on found footage. That's true. We
We
do.
do, and
Yeah.
so I put it this way, where we're like, that 5 is you're either it's my 5, but you're either gonna be like, "I understand where he was coming from, and I
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
this," or you're gonna be
Yes.
the, "Yeah, it's a 5 because it's not that it's fine." So I think
Yeah.
that 5 is a perfect middle, but it's like a could be a 6, could be a 4.
Yeah. I see I'm looking down because I wanted to try to glaze over and see what I rated Chist because I don't remember. And I'll feel bad if I don't naturally rate this higher than that because I did like this one more. And of course, we've done so many freaking episodes now, I can't even find it. It should be really easy, but um I never remember. So here's the thing with my ratings. My ratings change based on my mood sometimes. And so I don't always remember what I rate things. I'm always like, "Oh, it could be this or that." While I'm stalling, while I try to find it, I think
It's
that I wanna give this oh, found it. I just took saying that. Um, but anyway, the good news is when I put in the tapes, I put them in okay, I thought that's so I gave Chest a 3. Um, if you wanna know why, it's in the playlist. I would also give this a 5. Um, and I hate it because if I were to and I'm gonna probably do this, is gonna annoy everybody again. If I were to split this in 2, okay, starting from when he makes discoveries towards the end in the cave, when we get the footage of him, um, prior to that, I would have rated this like a 7 or an 8. But it's the ending that just really pulled it down for me, which I know we'll get into in just a second. So yeah, so I would give this I would also give this a 5. I cannot believe we are so in here. Like that's weird because
the
we
You know what's funny? That
yeah,
we are in sync in our rating,
yeah,
but the reasoning is different because
just so different.
the ending that you felt like is what
You
tanked your
loved the
score
ending?
is what upped m
Oh my
yeah.
god, that's bananas. Well, let's put our little banner up and we'll get into it because yeah. So, all right, well let's talk it out then. You thought the ending was the stronger part of the film, the third
I
act.
mean, I liked the build up to it, but how you said that you saw influence of other, found footage in world
Oh,
camera style movies,
yeah, yeah.
so did I, and in the ending, you know what I got a nice taste of? The Borderlands, also known as Final Prayer.
Really?
I
Really?
got the,
Huh.
like, submerged, like, "Oh, he's descending into hell."
Huh. I
That
did
is
not
what
get that. I
I
love that
got
one though.
from that, and it gave not that it, like, was that, but it gave me that
I
feeling.
understand. No, I understand.
It wasn't as strong because sorry, that ending is, like, one of the best
One of the best
endings
endings.
of horror,
Yeah.
and this I think the reason why, like, it wasn't as strong is because we already had it, um,
Mm,
but I was like, "I see what's happening here, this is the feeling that I'm getting." I love the noises creeped me out as we got there, and then
yeah.
that those final shots, it drew me in. It
That's
drew me in,
crazy.
I had that
The difference.
creepiness.
See, okay, and here's where I'm at with it, okay? I didn't get hell. I got like portal, dimension, alternate, like, because his camera ended up in another country.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I really just did not like Hostile Dimensions. I thought it was like so boring. But there's some cool shots in it. And the shots that I liked from that, they did like, I felt like when the camera was falling, I thought that was really well done. the going back to the house reminded me of Outwaters, which I hated. Um, hated. And so there was enough there between Hostile Dimensions, which was I was not a fan of, and Outwaters, which I really did not like, that I was like, ugh, you know. But here's the thing that I think would have, and I'm not trying to rewrite the movies here. I'm genuinely not. I respect these filmmakers. I've been, lucky enough to meet one of them through Found TV. And I do think that they are making progress in their filmmaking journey to really just give us just a top tier found footage movie. They have a clear love for the genre. It's very clear. And the acting and there's so many things that are really good. But the part that got me, that lost me and made me feel like, damn, that was like not what I wanted this to be like monsters because cave monsters scary, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like those things go so well together. It was giving Descent. I was there for it, right? And then it was like people in astronaut suits or I don't and they were the roars were too much for me. Um and I was like, "What? No monsters?" Like, that's what I was hearing the whole time, bro, was monsters, and so I was like, "What is happening?" But I will say this, the shots of that thing in the water were good.
Yeah.
That was creepy as hell with the hair and the movement. That was really creepy, and, but then he was, like, in his house. Oh, the phone. The phone, I didn't like that either. The phone, the devil laughing was silly. I just didn't think it sounded good. Which I will say this though, I'm super sensitive to that stuff. It's my problem with like 9 out of 10 possession movies because they try to sound scary and demonic and they don't to me. They're just I feel like I'm like, "Oh, that's probably not what the devil laughs like, right? If he were real." Like that's kind of how I feel. And so that part was like I was like, "Damn, come on. No, 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 no. Like I need get me back. Get me back. Get me back." And they did. They got the creature and the thing in the water, whatever the heck that was supposed to be. That was so good. Very, very good. I was there for that. Then he's like at his house. And I'm
And for
like,
some people, hell is home.
I guess that's true. But he seemed fine at home. He seemed fine. He had like a wife that he didn't seem to hate. I don't know what their relationship was. But then like the phone rings again and I'm like, and we get more laughter and it just didn't hit for me in the way that I think it was meant to. Um and then he's like back in the cave and I'm like, all right, I guess. I don't know what's going on with this so far. And then he's like, the only way out is through. I'm like, all right, that's pretty creepy. Let's see where this goes, right? I'm like, they keep getting me back. They like lose me and then they get me back. And then he's like standing over. I will say the shot of him jumping into the thing looked really cool. They did a really good job with that graphic wise because it legitimately looked like a shiny hole in the middle of the ground. I thought that part looked good. Or in the middle of the cave rather. And the camera flipping and all of that, that was great. I loved that. I thought that was really good. But I was just like, I just I didn't want dimensional travel or
Yeah.
whatever that was. I wanted monsters in a cave, and that's not what I got. And I think that part just kind of bummed me out because they really did keep losing me. And then I would be back and I'm like, all right, cool, let's see where this goes. And then like the thing with the hair ends up in his house and it's like crawling. I'm like, I'm here for that stuff. But there were just
I
pieces of this that just, you know,
and I think that's kind of been a central theme as we've been going through some of these is like there's something there. Like there's something stronger there. And you're like, and with this one particular, like you said, they they lost you, they got you. They lost you, they got
yeah,
you.
back and forth,
And
back and forth.
I definitely think that's kind of a testament to what I will say. Like, while we may disagree on what captivated us and what didn't
Yeah,
captivate us, um, I think the direction was really well. I
I agree.
think what the vision he had, even again, I don't mind if something doesn't work for me as long
Yeah,
as you had a clear vision. I don't
yeah,
want something where because the reason why I didn't like it was because I didn't get it. If I
yeah,
if I got it and didn't like it, that's one thing. Then
yeah.
that's like, okay, this just wasn't for me, but you're a
Sure.
good director because I saw what you were doing.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
where that was. I think,
Yeah.
and like you said, even when it comes to chess, I saw what they were going for. It just wasn't for me. This
Yeah, it
one,
wasn't for me either.
I was like, ah, okay, there you have a clearer vision here. And then, like you said, I think what it was for me was it did go different, and I enjoyed it. But like you said,
Hmm.
I am a fan of Hostile Dimensions. Um,
Yeah.
and this is where we do differ on the types of
Yes.
things that we
Yes.
do like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it worked for me in that sense. Um, but overall, I think he swung for the fences with to make it different, and it's gonna
Yeah.
land for some of us,
Yeah.
and for some people, like you said, because sorry, if there is nothing wrong with saying if you're going into a creepy cave, some people are gonna expect monsters. They just go hand in hand.
I can't help it. Yeah. I've
Well,
just seen too much of it. It's in horror games, it's in movies, like it's
and
and
because
yeah,
it usually works.
it does.
Because even movies that aren't that great, that the
Yeah.
cave movies with monsters, I'm specifically talking about the movie The Cave. It might not be the best movie, but there's
Yeah.
still that creepiness of monsters in a cave.
And there's so many angles too where I kept expecting to see something move, or they could have done something cool with like claws being moved back or
Mhm.
something moving, like because it would have been distorted enough, or it wouldn't have been too much, I don't know. I really wanted that. And I so a- and it's not fair probably to even look at things that way because it's not up to me how these things are done, 'cause it's not my movie. But that was, I think, what I thought they were setting us up for. So then when we got all this other things, and then I also would have gladly accepted Aliens. Aliens is always a plus for me, especially because I don't feel like we have enough good alien found footage. I mean, there's some stuff. There's definitely some found footage movies or aliens, but there's really only like one good one, two, if
I
you
think
count the
it's
first
hard to
kind.
make
It is.
aliens good in found
No,
footage. Like,
no,
there's great
100%
alien horror movies.
movies. No, for sure, of course. And I think, but this would have been a good one, I think, to do that way because, there's big theories about the fact that they're always here. They're just
Mhm.
here. The aliens are here and they're in these places, and he found the bones, and I'm like, a monster, like something, like, and I just couldn't get out of my head with those pieces. And then, like I said, some of the shots were really, really good camera work in this, way,
Yeah.
way up there
Well, like you
because I
said,
thought that was good.
the flip shots, like when he
So
was
good.
going through the portal, like I
Right.
loved the visuals. They gave me great visuals. So even if it didn't work for me, you still would have had me watching your movie.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, I think that, like I said, the troublemaker's back. I'm watching what he's doing. Um, I think that these filmmakers, they're growing and they're branching out. I think they have a lot of love for this subgenre that you and I both care so much about, and I love it. I want filmmakers in this subgenre who respect it and love it, and I think that we have that with them. I think the acting was strong. I love the idea of this like play on a sequel that's not a sequel, but it's about the. I loved that. I thought that was really smart filmmaking. Camera work in this was way up there. Like, it just, to me, it was really, really well done. Um, it was believable for the most part. Like, I didn't struggle with like those types of things like motivation or why or
Yeah.
whatever. I think they did a pretty good job getting rid of that type of stuff pretty early on. Um, but all in all, yeah, it fell apart for me when the end pieces were just so drastically different than the rest of it. And I don't know what camera can survive a fall like that.
That's true.
With the footage still intact, I don't know, but that's
It's
neither here nor
falling through
there.
a portal. Maybe the dimensions are different.
Yeah, maybe it fell closer to the ground than we thought. I don't know,
The
but
only
either
thing I
way,
the only thing I will add to this, particularly to the director and the team behind these movies, clearly they have I mean, I think their background is there, but clearly they like the Appalachian setting.
oh, sure,
Let's go creature feature with those mountains, please,
let's do it. Yeah,
because yeah, there's a lot of scary stories about those mountains.
real,
So
like,
how about we
yeah,
dive into
that would
some
be cool.
creepy creature features? Because I think it's a perfect setting. I think you have something there. Clearly, you guys know enough about the area to make something. So I would love to see that come from you guys because again, the direction, the visuals,
Story,
you guys
technique.
you guys have something there for sure.
I totally agree. I totally agree. This is not someone where this is not a situation where I'd be like, yeah, I'm never watching anything by them again. I
No,
don't think
I'm
I have
definitely
many of those anyway,
yeah,
but whatever their next project is, no, 100% I would check it out and help
I'm
support it if I
keeping an
could.
eye on their stuff because
Yeah,
I
because
like the projection.
yeah, because this was definitely steps. I mean, I rated this 2 tapes higher than Chest, and, it's again, there were so many things I really, really liked. I just, yeah, give me a creature. First of all, we just don't have enough stuff like that in found footage anyway because it's so expensive and it's hard to do. Creature
Mhm.
features they're expensive. And very difficult, but it can be done. There are some really great low budget monster project found footage movies that just nail it. And I think if they can do it, I know others can do it as well.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, you guys have the storytelling capabilities, you have the technique down, you have the passion and the respect and the love for the genre, the subgenre. Like, yeah, make it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'm here for that. So, yeah. Well, cool. Um, if you are interested in getting the annual subscription to Found TV, where you can watch found footage movies without ads for a year, you can get $5 off using discount code VOICES. It's just VOICES. We have a discount code with them so that when you go to get the annual subscription, you get $5 off. It's more than worth it if you're already using it and the ads are starting to get on your nerves. No time like the present to go ahead and get it. It goes to some really great creators who really focus on indie films and promotion, and they're just really great people trying to give us the best of the best found footage. And so we are big supporters of theirs, obviously at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, as always, Mike's links will be in the description of this episode where you can find him and keep up with all of his stuff. And yeah, we hope you guys have a great rest of your found footage Friday. Have a great weekend, and Mike and I will see you next week.
Bye.